Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck. And our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. Our sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today in one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
Woo! Hey! Hey! Me and Uncle Todd. She's corner. Woo! She's corner. Hey! Let me hit him on. She's corner. Talk about, and that's just what we're doing. From mental health to gun violence in a system that is losing. Police brutality, immigration, black business is booming. Education, prison system, corruption keeps on brewing.
Welcome to Coach's Corner. Tonight we have a special guest tonight. We're going to have Gerald Rose from New Order, Natural Human Rights Organization. And we have our co-host today, filling in for Butch, Patricia Thomas. She's going to be my kick buddy tonight. I guess we're going to kick it on like Butch. Well, she ain't Butch. But we're going to be a special announcement first. We want to tell everybody that on August the 5th, 2023 at McDonald High School. We have a back to school rally. We want you to come out and support the kids there. They're going back to school next Wednesday. We want everybody to come out and get a backpack. We're having a cheer dance contest there, vendors, food, music for the whole community. Come out there. That's again August the 5th at 223 at McDonough High School. Also, this program has been sponsored by State Farm, Sherry Denard on 155 McDonough Avenue in McDonough. And we also want to say thanks to our producer, Felix Washington, the producer of this show. This program is being produced by TV 1061 on Roku TV, YouTube, Facebook, Live. We have the opportunity to reach 55 million viewers. There's an opportunity where you can see it on any channel 7 days a week. And we're going to talk about a special topic tonight, going to be about drugs in our community. First, I want to say there's a lot of things that happen in our community that folks don't know about as far as drug crimes in our society that we don't know. We got facts. Let me just disclaimer on here tonight's show because we want to say that what we hear is not our opinion, it's facts. So we want nobody coming telling us it ain't true. We got facts, so if you want to have plans, you got to tell if the facts tells the truth. So speaking of that, I did some researching about drugs in our community that I live in Henry County. And there's things that I didn't even know was happening in my community in the drugs, and also in Clayton County that people probably don't know what's going on in their community because we're not getting it out there because the commissioners, the officials is not telling us. They're hiding this from us. But tonight we're going to expose some of these drug crimes in our community. Ms. Thomas, let's talk about with you. What we got in Clayton County that we don't know, that people may not know about what's going on?
Okay, so a few things that I found there are facts as it pertains to Clayton County. On June 15th of this year, we had a brother and sister accused of running illegal drug operations. Also in Clayton County, this was just 6 days ago, we had a nurse that she was arrested after trying to bring drugs into the Clayton County facility.
Hold on, let's talk about that. 6 days ago, Clayton County was bringing drugs in the facility. Brand new sheriff, brand everything. Y'all got rid of the sheriff that was there stopping all this. Now you got new sheriffs in there. It seems like it's more crime in that Clayton County jail, Ms. Thomas, than it was before Victor Hill got out. I'm not speaking on Victor Hill was a saint, but he did prevent all this from happening. And now you just say we got drugs in Clayton County.
But let me just say this to Mr. Allen's defense. He is new. He is learning. So, you know, we have to give him credit for trying. You know, he did catch this young lady and he stopped it. So, you know, hey, kudos to him for that. And I want to say Victor Hill was definitely that man.
He was that man?
He was that man.
Go ahead, continue. You got something to say about that?
Well, I'm not surprised when you say Clayton County. I've been dealing with Clayton County since the early 2000s. I'm telling you, I'm going back before Victor Hill was in office. So it's issues that goes out there in Clayton County. It's like a pattern, ongoing. You know, so like you said earlier, you know, Victor Hill was no saint. But talking to people in Clayton County, when he's in office, the crime is down.
Yes, it was.
Because he runs that jail like a boot camp.
Yes.
You know, so I have been in there several times, witness it. You know, I've been in there since this new sheriff was in there. I had a visit because I exposed Clayton County Jail several times because our inmates are being treated, the living conditions. So I'm not surprised when you say Clayton County.
All right, so let me ask you about Fulton County if we're going to talk about the jails. What do you think about Fulton County Jail? You know, the DOJ is doing an investigation now.
It's even worse. I mean, this young man that was in Fulton County Jail lost his life. He was only in there because of a misdemeanor. It doesn't matter what you're in there. Inmates has rights.
Facts.
We might disagree on the crime that they accused of because you got to think about it, it's only a jail because you're either going somewhere else or you're going to get out of there.
Right. It's
family
facility.
Away from home when you break the law. So you still got to treat them like regular people in there. I know it's a stress job. I know that they're in there for punishment. We know a jail is not a hotel, but at the same time, these inmates have rights. You know, so.
Go ahead,
All right, so here's another fact that happened in April of this year in Clayton County. Police arrested 4 in a drive-by shooting. 4 people in a drive-by shooting. Crazy. Woo.
And then we can bounce off one again in Henry County. Now Henry County is supposed to be the county that everybody says don't have crime in. There's more drug crimes in Henry than it is in Clayton.
Yep.
This happened June 17, 2023. Behind bar, police found meth pills during a raid behind the bars in Henry County. two meth drug busts in Henry County. This happened a month ago. A search warrant in Hampton, arrested on drug charges. That was on July 15th. Now these are things that we don't hear about, but it's facts. Why we don't hear about this? I'm gonna tell you why we don't hear about it. Again, these commissioners, these public officials out here is hiding things from us. They telling us everything is going. You go to them, ain't nothing going on wrong. But you see, there's all these crimes happening, and we don't know nothing about it because we're not getting involved with what's happening in our community.
So do you think they're not telling us about the crimes because they don't want people to leave the area due for financial reasons and gains for our community leaders? Do you think that's the reason why they try to put everything up under the table so that we're not noticing the general public?
I believe that. I believe they're trying to keep the people in the community so they can have the voting right. The people, they have to vote for them, but not tell there's no crime here. Like, I'm doing a good job as the sheriff. You know you're not doing a good job, but by me not reporting this in my blotter report, there's no crime. So we don't think he's doing a good job because we don't hear about no crime in here. We don't see no crime. We don't feel no crime. So, but when we really look deep down into it, you see crime in Henry County and Clayton County because we vote for the wrong politicians, wrong officials, and not doing their job. It's time, like that guy said last week, it's time to get rid of these old heads, put some new generation in, got thinking of the new generation. Because these old heads don't think like the new generation is going on.
What you think?
Let me say something about a politician.
Okay.
I mean, you say they hide now, but they don't hide when they asking for your vote. They be in
You right.
churches. They very visible, you know, when they running for office. So, and then they do go hiding when they in office. But it's up to us as voters to expose them when we really need you. You know, I'm asking, you know, you be conscious who you really voting for. Are you doing a background check on these officials that's taking these seats? You know, we just going there.
I'm glad you said that. I am glad you said that.
Keeping it real, that's all. I'm just keeping it real.
You said, do we do a background check on our officials? I know for a fact, I'm not going to mention their name, they had a police record and became I'm not telling you what county, became an official.
And with a police record?
With a police record.
Well, let me, in their defense, being that I am prior law enforcement, as long as it's not a felony, you can run for any government office. As long as it's any misdemeanor, it's okay. You know, but anything domestic, definitely that's out the door. Anything felony, that's definitely out the door.
Right.
But you know, my thing is, as it pertains to someone getting arrested, different circumstances cause different cases, meaning sometimes people get arrested just because officers don't want to thoroughly do their job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can go to a resident, you being called, if an officer got an attitude and he don't want to hear your case, he just looking a certain type of way, he gonna take you to jail.
But I know for a fact this was a felony because it was a check thing. Okay?
Wow,
They
and
bought
he still
checks,
was
and he
eligible to
still
run for
ran
office?
And didn't tell nobody, but they ran and got him in office. If that wasn't a friendship,
Wow.
what was it?
It's somebody
So-
that you know.
It wasn't.
Are they in office or did they get to do time?
They still in.
They still in office?
They still in office. I ain't gonna tell you the county. I ain't tell you the name.
Wow.
But if you do your research, you'll find them, and they voted them in twice.
Wow.
So let me ask you something. Before you run for office, don't they check you out? When you file a paperwork and everything? So they should have known that.
And they should know, but they supposed.
Okay, so let me just say this right here.
Still in office.
Wow.
This is the thing that I've learned being in law enforcement and actually having a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
If it's not with the lights, camera, accolade, a lot of them really don't want to be involved. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, because I was invited to a nonprofit organization thing for a city official. And being that I didn't have the funds or the popularity needed, I wasn't needed. But you said that this was for the youth. So was it really for the youth or is it for clout?
You asking me that question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I call in numbers. Hold on. I call in
Okay.
number 770-485-7724. Call in and tell me what you think about the drugs in your community and what's going on in your community. As we continue the conversation, go ahead.
Well, personally, as a politician, they gonna tell you what you want to hear when you're running for office.
Right.
They gonna make themselves look good. Politician lies a lot. Politics can get on your nerves, but it's a part of life.
Right, right.
We got to deal with it every day, and things. So
But
it's
let me
just
give you another example. Now, this happened April 27, 2022. There was
What county?
Henry County.
Okay.
Cobb County ain't on your list,
Man, I
sir?
ain't got that. Listen to this very to the public. A former Henry County Drug Task Force commander was indicted.
Wow. Now, you know when you're indicted, you
April
guilty.
27, 2022. Henry County Drug Task Force commander was indicted. It ain't my opinion.
Did you
it's
hear
fact.
about that?
I ain't hear about that.
Did you hear about that?
It's the public. Y'all hear about that?
I never
Who
heard
was the
about
sheriff
that.
of Henry County
In
right in
2022?
2022?
You know what? Doing human rights for many years, I only been to Henry County once,
Wow.
But I'm
dealing
saying,
with issues.
have
but
you heard about it?
No, I have not.
Have you heard about it?
No.
Public, have y'all heard about this? I'm just taking opinions on it. It's happened April 27, 2022. You can look it up. It's a fact. And we didn't hear. These are things we don't hear about, and we steady vote these people in office.
Right.
Okay, what about all these Trump supporters? He getting indicted every month.
But we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about politics. That's what they said. But that's something totally different.
I mean,
This is what we say. So in our community, you see there's a lot of drugs going on in our community that we're now being aware of. They talk about everything else. They're not talking about the crime, our gun shooting. They're not talking about nothing. These are things we're not talking about. We got these commissioners, public officials in office, and keeping these things from us. But one thing y'all can keep continuing is voting them in office. Voting them in office. It's time, elections coming up. It's time to get these old heads out, these and get some new heads in that could think better and to take care of things that's going on. I mean, that's what I see about it because, like I said, I don't care you my friend. If you ain't doing, you ain't right. You ain't right.
now in Henry County, do they have town hall meetings? Do they meet with the public
They do.
besides the
They
city
do.
council meetings?
They
do.
do.
So
But if you
it
don't
must
know
not
about
be,
this,
huh?
if you don't know about this, how can you bring it up to them?
That's true.
They're not going to answer it. I went to a town hall meeting, and I want to say about maybe 3 months ago, went
Okay.
to, and it's supposed to be crime in the county. But the questions are screened, so it's pointless to go and
I'm glad you said that again, because we even asked politicians, congressmen, city officials, come on our show and talk about what you do.
Yeah.
They would not come. They say, "What you gonna ask me?" Well, I need to ask you something. This not school.
Yeah.
This ain't a pop quiz.
That's true.
If you're a true politician, you true for the community. Tell us what's in your heart.
Right,
Not ask me what I'm gonna ask you, so you go home and study for a test.
Right.
I don't test you.
right,
Right.
right.
And that's the problem. They want you to be tested to find out so they can know the exact answer
Right.
to say and make you sound good. Come on the stage and just do a raw conversation.
That's like doing an interview when people ask me, do you want me to give you the questions for? I said, no, you ask me anything you want to. I don't have nothing to hide.
I'm glad you said that. So let me ask you, being that you are a national human rights organization, you run this. So have you had a case as it pertains to crime and a youth?
Of course.
What?
You remember the young man that got killed at the Wendy's? Remember he got stun gun? Got killed at the Wendy's?
Are you talking about Rashad Brooks?
Yeah, a
Uh-huh.
day later, that 9-year-old little girl got shot.
Oh
and
yeah, I
killed.
remember that.
Okay, I was the only organization spoke out publicly about it.
Wow.
I mean, I always speak on our issues when we're killing each other.
Okay.
You know, it seems like when we say Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter. It mattered to us when law enforcement do something to us, but when we kill each other, everybody's quiet, like, oh, we used to this.
So can
Not
you give
New
us a
Order.
little background about you, Mr. Jerry Rose?
Well, I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. My dad was an icon. I would say that now. The Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, they know my dad. But as far as you all, y'all probably never heard of him. But it was not easy from, coming under the roof of my dad. My house and church was put on fire, death threat calls every day. I mean, it was crazy, and of course, we was in the spotlight, and things like that. But my dad he's 84 years old now, but he did do some lot of stuff in this community, locally and nationwide. He just got honored at Morehouse College
Nice.
about
Congratulations
5
to
months
him.
ago. Yeah, Andrew Young. He went out for that movie Dr. King, because if you see him, you sound just like him. I remember when Rosa Parks came to our church, Minister Farrakhan, so I was exposed to civil rights as a kid. but I didn't know I was going to be doing it because I stayed on the basketball court. You know what I mean? It was, and then all of a sudden, two of my best friends got killed, execution style. And be honest, I'm surprised I'm here today, but they obviously dropped me back off at home, but they did not return. So my dad went on an 18-day fast to protest the issues going on in our community. And this was when God called me, you know, he said, son, I need you to go out and hold a press conference. I know what he did, but I was nervous and I know what he was saying, but then I got a call from my cousin in Birmingham, and I decided to relocate to Georgia, you know, and I was in Cobb County where it's count on being busted. I know I'm hearing about Henry County, but when I hear about when people say Cobb County, people are a lot afraid to go to Cobb County. I remember the late Joseph Lowry. He said, Rose, I respect what you do. I'm glad you relocated down there, but don't mess with them folks in Cobb County. I said, why not? I told Reverend Lowry, I said, you don't know where I come from, my bloodline. That's where I want to be at.
But here's my question too: why is the black community is so much drug infested? More, you know, why are we so infested with drugs?
Well, first of all, go ahead.
What you think?
That's a great question. I actually did research on the drugs that are in the black community. It's fentanyl. We have gotten above the national, the national count as far as deaths now. You know, it used to be in other nationalities and Caucasians. They used to be notorious for overdosing. But it's in the black community, and it's from fentanyl and heroin. And you know, heroin was not a black person's drug back in the day.
It wasn't.
But yeah, that's the new thing with us and overdosing in our community now is.
And
bad
to
thing.
me, people in the neighborhood know that you're a drug dealer, know that, and their parents know their kids are doing drugs, and they want to turn them in. But soon something happened to them, they want to say, "Well, I didn't know." How would you not know? He walking around with Gucci's on and diamond gold chains and driving around. You know, you ain't give it to him,
Right.
and he ain't got a job, so you got to be doing something. And you tell me you don't notice these things going on, and that's what's happening in our black community. Blacks didn't bring drugs in our community. I don't care what nobody says. We didn't have no drug factory in the black community.
Well, that's one of those things that were
Destroying our own
put in,
people.
right, but not only that, it was put in the black community to destroy us.
Destroy us.
That was the purpose
Right.
of the drug. That was where we had 50 years worth of fighting drugs now, and it actually started with Reagan in presidency. So there's nothing, well, you know, everybody like, oh, what can we do, what can we do? I don't think there's nothing we can do.
I disagree on that because I think if we had the right, which we're gonna bring it up, if we had the right resources,
But
right-
what are the right resources?
that's what I don't. That's what I don't know what the right. It's somewhere what they need to do with time. What they need to do with their time. The kids coming up, mentorship programs.
Yes, I agree with that.
Women teach women how to be women.
Yes, I agree.
Teach boys how to be men. You know, teaching teenagers how to invest in their money and property, stuff like that. You know, tell them how to dress, how to properly dress, walk around showing your butt with your
Yeah.
clothes off your butt. You a grown man, you still got your pants off your hip. For what? You know, these are things that we need to learn. There's things, if we got the right kind of education, men need to train men. Women can't train a man.
I agree. Women, we
And
go
women
off
can't
emotions.
train- and men can't
That's
train
true.
a woman.
That's true. What
You
you
know?
think, Mr. Rose?
Well, first of all, what we used to do, what we need to get back doing, you heard of Apex Museum?
Yeah.
It's a black museum on Auburn Avenue.
Oh, okay.
And what we did and what we're going to get back doing, because God had brought some strong people to this organization, we should take our youth to the Apex Museum and show them where we came from. It makes them feel like, why would we, do our people like put this poison in them if we know that we from kings and queens and things like that? Even because, the public school took black history out of schools. Did y'all know that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure
that's
did.
why we took the initiative, say, hey, we're going to take this among our own and take our kids to the Apex Museum and teach them the real black history. It's more than just Dr. Martin Luther King
Right,
and all
right,
that. Yeah,
right.
they just teach the basics. They don't get to the
Right.
real nitty gritty to where we come from. We built this country. They hide a lot of stuff from us in our school system.
That's why HBCU
So that's why-
is important.
I think that if we get back to taking these kids to show them where we really came from, why would I want to kill my own king or queen? Why would I want to hurt my own people?
Well-
Because we came from the same tribe.
If you was official in a community, or a commissioner, mayor, whatever you do in the community, and you have a certain district, and you're not out there supporting your district in nothing you do, and you see what's going on, you hear it, but you're not doing nothing. You say, you make a promise, woulda, shoulda, coulda, you know? And you tell me what can you do about drugs? If they go out in the community and ask people what to clean up their community or their district, or do it, or think of something to do with their district, just walking around saying, I'm gonna do something about it, or just get a paycheck, we shoulda, woulda, coulda, walk around with suits all day, then get your hands dirty.
Remember, they playing the game. That's why I wouldn't run for office. I want to stay free.
And then they only come around when it's time for election time. You know, they don't come out and say, let me help you do something in the community. They come out and ask you, can you donate to my campaign fund? And what we do, we donate to their campaign fund. They say, can you get $100 for a dinner? I'm going to give them $100 for campaign fund. But if you ask them, can you donate that same $100 to help one of these kids out of the neighborhood?
Yep.
They'll tell you, I'll see what I can do. And you talk about what can we do? There's a lot of things we can do. There's so many non-profit organizations in all these communities. So many non-profit organizations.
Every black church in every corner.
And no one is giving none of them, giving them nobody no money to help these non-profit organizations.
That's what I don't understand.
And it's crazy how you won't give non-profit organizations trying to help the kids, the youth, the babies, the child, the drugs, the guns off our streets. But you can turn around and the government, these commissioners, I got a doctor.
You don't like them politicians, do you?
I don't.
You're attacking them. You done must have had a bad experience or something.
I got a thing from Henry County, from the commission board, where they got a call drug, DUI, and drug court. They applied for a grant and was signed by the commission board. The commissioner signed for this in March of 2017. They gave them money for this program. A drug and DUI court. Why you can't tell us how to get the money for these programs, these non-profits get, and for their program? You want money that can put money back in your pocket and not to the community's pocket.
I agree.
And so you say, why we got drugs on our streets? Because that's why. We got politicians, officials, don't want us to have nothing better. They don't want us to have nothing better. They want us to live the way we was, come up poor, stay poor, and die poor, while they probably getting fat. Somebody's getting paid.
Right.
Somebody's getting paid. I was looking on school board. There's so many black teachers and principals in our Henry County school board, but the school still asking for money. How can they ask for money with all this money in the county on things that we building? You know, they built the amphitheater in Stockbridge. All right, they put all that money into it. Then they make the property tax go up.
Yeah.
And they bring up mortgages, making things go up. But what about these kids? Do you think about any of these kids? We doing fundraisers, bringing kids backpacks, school bags. And you talk about why we can't stop the drugs. We can stop the drugs if we put programs in place. Why you can?
I agree.
What do you think?
I mean, you definitely right, but you know, drugs is the money maker. I mean,
and drugs are killing.
I hate to say it. It's just, you know, it's too much money involved. You got a lot of people in power. Major powers is behind the scenes dealing with drugs. You know, our ex-president probably was doing that.
You know, and before we go on break, another incident that came to my attention, came across my thing about a killing in Clayton County. I'm not in Clayton County. I didn't know about some young man got killed by the police department. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that on after.
That's still Allen, Mr. Rose.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it on after we come out break. But we're gonna talk about that too, about how this happened, how it got away, what the public is doing, what the officials are doing in Clayton County about this. We're gonna talk about it on break. We gotta go on break right now, but we'll be back. We're gonna come back and talk to Mrs. Holmes, Clayton County, about something that happened to her son, Clayton County. We'll be back after the break.
There are no mistakes or regrets in this life. Only the opportunity to learn and evolve. Leave your imprint on this earth. In that process, it's a responsibility and calling to aid others where possible. When you've been blessed, you should look to be a blessing. That can take the form of your time and resources. You only have one life to make a difference in others, so why not show up and be great? But not for the sake of yourself, but for a generation of onlookers who are looking to see what's possible. Being a State Farm good neighbor in the community is a privilege that I don't take for granted. My name is Sherry DeVos Denard, and my office is located in the industrial side of McDonough, Georgia. We service all of Georgia and neighboring states Alabama and South Carolina. You can reach us today for all of your auto, home, life, and small business needs at 678-782-3005 or online at sddinsurance.com and on all social media platforms. We look forward to earning your business. There are no
Today's
mistakes.
world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives. Today's world exposes our youth.
Woo! Hey! Hey! Me and Uncle Talk. She's corner. Woo! She's corner. Hey! Let me hit him on. She's corner. We got something to talk about, and that's just what we're doing. From mental health to gun violence in a system that is losing. Police brutality, immigration, black business is booming. Education, prison system, corruption keeps on brewing. Ooh, she's corner. Hey, ooh, she's corner. Give it one time.
Welcome back to Coach Corner Part 2. We're broadcast live right here on TV 1061 on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku TV. We're bring a lady on named Mrs. Holmes from out of Clayton County. We're going to tell us a story about her son being killed in Clayton County. And we want her to bring her on and find out what the public is doing about that, since we're talking about crimes in Clayton County, drugs in Clayton County. Ms. Holmes, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, you're live right now on stage. Go ahead and tell us the situation about what happened to your son in the county, so everybody in the public can understand what's really going on. And I have Gerald Rose here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My son, he was murdered on November the 21st of the last year of 2022. He was murdered while at work in Clayton County by Officer Justin Stevens, and it's been 8 months so far.
And that's all you know, that Justice Stevens wasn't, so what happened with the investigation? What they say happened with the investigation?
Well, with the investigation, I was told from the beginning that my son did not deserve to die. Tasha Mosley has pressed charges.
Hello?
Tasha Mosley did press charges, and she pressed the 7 charges, but they, to my understanding, the grand jury did a no bill.
Can you elaborate on who Tasha Mosley is?
Tasha Mosley is the DA for Clayton County.
Okay.
So she's the DA for Clayton County, and she was the one, her and the prosecutor, who brought up the charges. My only problem with that is, in this brutality fight, we're not able to have criminal attorneys.
Okay.
So you have to get a civil attorney, hoping that they have criminal knowledge and can fight your case, and it's not shaking hands in the courtroom.
Have anything in the community, anybody in the community come out and help you with this, about what's going on with you? Anybody, any of the leaders come out to you or comfort you or talk to you? Anybody in the county come help you, talk to you?
Well, in their county, they have an advocate for their county named Mia Bellinger, which is actually how I met you guys. And Mia has been very supportive. Foremost, we're trying to get them to say something, changes inside of Clayton County. So she's really been working out there, and she's the only one that has came forward from Clayton County to even, I guess, give anything, to say anything to try and help.
Well, let me ask you a question. What about the commissioners and all that down in there? Have any of them come out to help you out, show you support, ask you anything about it?
I think they're all running away from it. And what they're running away from is the fact that this officer was never supposed to be on the force. He was never supposed to be on the force. He failed his training. They are aware of that. And they're running away from that. I've been begging. I haven't got to a point just to say to the commissioners yet, because I just came in here doing whatever it is I can try to do. I have been down to the Capitol, dealt with a couple of the representatives, and trying to get that prosecutor and DA bill passed and things like that with the other families. So I'm just getting to their commissioners, but they haven't said anything.
Hey, Ms. Holmes, this is Phaedra Thomas with Self-Made Beauty. I have a nonprofit, and I'm not familiar with the case. Can you elaborate on the case? Is that something that you can talk about just to bring us up to date on what it is that happened?
Okay, so I can give you guys basically what the media said and what I've tried to say behind it from the beginning. The media, the attorneys that I had at first, they did come on after we reviewed the video to say that there was no altercation, a casual conversation, and that Eric's civil rights were violated. Mm-hmm. Eric was at work based on the police report that has been released already. Eric was at work. What they didn't say, which is but everyone else know about, and it has been said outside of the media, was Eric came out of his job to have a conversation with the officer. So why would he walk out of a warehouse building where you have, just say maybe 100 cars, it's a warehouse complex, that officer never knew who was in that car? Why would my son come outside and give himself to you? And that's what they're not telling.
Okay,
they're not saying what, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead.
So they're not saying, which one of the news reporters did say that, hey, Eric came outside and talked to him. That officer had been sitting in the parking lot, already called the car in. The tow truck was coming as my son was crashing. And what they're not telling the public now is, you got on here, you said that my son was in a stolen car. Well, the young lady right now is not a reliable witness. Whose car you saying it is? And he comes outside and identifies himself to the officer. He could have ran out the back door or did anything if he was wrong. He came out there.
So initially,
you had already called that car in.
Okay, so initially, Ms. Holmes, you're saying what happened to your son, his interaction with the police it stemmed from a stolen vehicle?
It did.
That's the initial
from a report of a stolen vehicle.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out the background, like how did they initially make contact?
And I'm going to ask you said that a police officer wasn't supposed to be on the force. Can you elaborate what you mean he shouldn't be on the force?
Well, it's in his files and it can be pulled. Number one, we already know this officer has priors. He had a prior record, which was the same thing you guys were mentioning earlier. They are able to get on the force even with records. This officer should have never been on the force to begin. Then let alone with that, it's also in his record, he did not pass his firearm training. So he wasn't even certified at the time that he murdered my son.
And
so
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and I think that's what Clayton County is afraid of. They're afraid of saying, hey, this car that we said was stolen, we really can't verify it, and then they're afraid to also say that this man is saying that it was guns in the car and that Eric tried to reach for a gun, but how could he reach for a gun when you shoot him up from the back and he's sitting?
Jesus.
If all
that's something that has already been released.
If this is all documented, and like you say, it is facts, I know we're getting it from one side, the sources, and facts, if this has been true facts, and he wasn't gun certified, all that, how could they not charge? Did you talk to Gerald Rose? Did he ever talk to you about this?
We're just getting together on it, and everything is facts. Like I tell people, and I tell them, I can't give anything and won't give anything that you have not given. If I could give what it was that you've given, I can stream. But what it is that I would give and I'm giving to the public is the same thing they've already given. They had an attorney come on TV tell you that there was no altercation, casual conversation, and Eric never deserved to die.
Well,
they had a deep. Go ahead.
Go ahead. We're going to cut you short, but go ahead.
Okay, they have a DA that has admitted to it. You have a GBI that has said it was fault. You have the Office of Professional Standard that has said it was fault. The chief, the prosecutor, and you mean to tell me this man walk out of court with 7 charges and just walk?
And Ms. Holmes, was all this presented to the grand jury, what you telling us?
I don't know how it was presented because, mind you, we're not allowed in a courtroom. We're not even allowed a criminal attorney. And that's the problem out here. We don't even know what they present.
Okay, Ms.
So
Holmes,
I'm saying
can you wrap it up a little? Can you wrap it up about 5 seconds? Go ahead, wrap it up in 5 seconds because we gotta.
I'm wrapped up. I was just answering what you asked me,
Ms. Holmes,
but
I
I'm
just have
wrapped up. That's
Real
it. Eric
fast.
Holmes, 19
Can
years
you-
old.
Ms. Holmes, I'm sorry, real fast, because we have to wrap it up. Can you give us something positive about your son that you would like the public to know?
I would like you to know that he was a good person. He was a 19-year-old full-time custodial father. He did not deserve to die. And I just want you to make it matter to you without it having to happen to you.
Okay.
Hey, Ms. Holmes, did you get a chance to send me your email address so I can get this complaint form sent to you immediately?
I did. I've already texted to you.
All right. Okay.
All right, Ms. Holmes. Thank you. We're gonna finish talking about it on the air. So stay online. We're gonna talk about it on the air. Thanks for calling in. We're gonna finish this conversation on the air. Thank you.
No problem.
Now,
Wow,
if they know all this,
Crazy.
how does something's not matching up?
Yeah, you know, here we go again.
And
Here
then
we go.
they say he couldn't, the gun certified or something, all this stuff I'm hearing, it's like how somebody's in some trouble.
Hold on. Here we go again, brother. We got a lady telling us about crime in Clayton County, another cover-up. Somebody's getting paid again in there. And this is the people telling me, what are the public doing about this? Y'all not boycotting, going down there, using your first freedom of speech right. Go down there and get these commissioners accountable. Get them accountable for what's going on in your community. You're not making them accountable for it. You're letting them go give a pass. Again, this story is true, what she's saying to us, this guy be the one.
Unreal.
Everybody now know about the story because it's being a lot broadcast live, so she's not the only one hearing. Everybody's hearing this story. Something's got to be done down there in Clayton County about this, and if no one's doing it, public, you got to speak up. You got to ride and die with this young lady, find out what the truth really is down there. Uncertified cop on the force, and he still carrying a gun, still riding around Clayton County, being like it's Wild Wild West.
Well, I know exactly what we go do once she gets
so
this complaint form.
We need, as a public, as we say, everybody come together as a community, supposed to come together as a village. Y'all need to come together with that young lady and find out the truth of the matter. And again, it's election time. It's election time. Get them officials out of office. Get them out. It's time to get them removed, time to replace old for new. Get them out of office.
I wonder if she ever spoke or presented her case to the, is it county commissioner or city council people?
City
Right?
commissioner.
Commissioner. I wonder if she's been to a county commissioner meeting to present her case. I
Again,
wonder.
our phone number is 770-485-7724. If you got anything to say about crime in your community, give us a call. We're talking about it heavily in the community because it's getting outrageous out here in the community. We want everybody to be aware of what's going on in our community today with drugs and alcohol. We find out all things are being not told to the public. All you got to do is start getting some of these blotter reports, look it up, go to the court records, find out why we're not being told what's going on. Why is he covering all this up? Again, it's all about the money in there. And like I said, there's so many nonprofit organizations out here that need help. It's like helping solve some of these problems in our community. And we're not giving the money to the people fair. So many, we've been on the show for the last 3 weeks, we had 7 nonprofit organizations not getting funded in our community. That's ludicrous. But you got public things, and the public is getting funded. Somebody's pockets are getting fat. Somebody's getting fat. We need to find out why we're not getting help with some of these kids. We know we're talking about kids, the young generation, and we can't get no kind of satisfaction. What y'all think?
You know what's sad about this? I just came from home, right? I was driving through the city. I didn't see no kids at the basketball court.
Wow.
No kids at the Boys and Girls Club. It's just a
It's
different
a charge
generation,
to go
man.
to the Boys and, I didn't notice. I just learned in Henry County,
What?
they have a Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I know.
And
Chat.
it's expensive.
Chat. What?
It's expensive.
Well, we gotta research
And I
that.
said, wait a minute. How in the world is the Boys and Girls Club? You
I
have.
don't remember paying money getting
That's
no
what
Boys
I
and
said.
Girls
I
Club.
said, I ain't never know you had to pay for the Boys.
So it's set up for failure. They know
Li-
people ain't got the. It's a lot of broken homes
There
out
you go.
there.
If you make from 0 to, what was it? I need my fact sheet. You know what? I actually had a fact sheet.
I'm gonna
It's
look that
0
stuff
to.
While she looking that up, she got a good point there. Why should you see? We don't have resources. You charging people for resources out of our own tax dollar money for putting it in somebody else's pocket. You building something, put it back in your pocket instead of getting. It's saying we got to pay to go to school. Kids got to pay for their lunches. Lunches used to be free. You know, they make kids pay for lunches in school
Wow.
to eat. You know, some of these kids, only meal they get is in school.
There you go. Yep.
And now
You're right.
she's just bringing
You're
up
right. You're right
that
about
boys
that.
and clubs, you're paying to go to Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I seen
And
it.
that's why we don't have no resources, because they charge
True.
you.
You're right.
They charge you. These single parents, some of these people don't have.
A parent sent me this, and because she has 2 kids, and she said for her 2 children to
She's
go.
looking that up.
Yeah.
What you think about it? That you're paying for Boys and Girls Club in America, she said it's expensive to go.
Yep.
If you got comments, pick again, 770-485-7724.
This is the boys and girls.
I can't read it.
Okay.
Tell me what
If
tell
you
me.
okay, so if you make an annual income from $0 to $13,000 a month, you have to pay for your one child $80.
A week or a month?
This is a week.
A week?
A week.
Yes.
That's high, man.
How in the world are these people able to pay this money and they don't make this?
That's why they ain't going
How much
there.
is it for? How much?
This is okay. So it's level 1. This can't be right. There is no way in the world. Summer fees, 2007 fees, and a club shirt. K through 8th grade, 2022-2023. This is crazy. $175.
For what? Okay, speak up. What is it about?
Hold on. Listen. I don't want to give out false information. I just.
But it's on record. It ain't false. It's on record.
Well, I mean, it's on record, but I don't want to spill
got
it
it.
without knowing
But
the
even
facts.
the principal fact that you got to pay this much money for a child,
No, they can't afford
they
it.
can't afford it.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Even summer,
Right.
summer camp's going what? $100 a kid,
Right,
and then you may get a meal,
right.
and they're not really watching the
Some
kids.
kids can't even afford to play sports these days
But
because the
they-
uniforms cost so high.
Any members required to pay the membership current fee. Yeah, this is, and then let me see, siblings discount, $25 off each additional sibling. Yeah, let me research this a little bit more because these
Well,
numbers
you know,
cannot
since
be
you're speaking of
accurate.
that, let me go back to them on this drug thing.
Check this out, Mr.
all,
Rowe.
all the drug money that we confiscate from these drug dealers, all the cars we get, jewelry we get, the police confiscate money. Al, tell me, where's that money going? Where's that money going?
It's supposed to go back into the agency to get better, efficient equipment for officers.
Okay, but you said go back into the agency to get on the drug. So, what about it going back into the community? They take the money from the community.
I agree.
Am I wrong? The
I
drug
agree.
money is taken from the community. It's not taken from the agency. Agency kept confiscating money, so they're really robbing the community by taking the drug money, using it for their agency for better equipment, to bust more of them, and then leave the community poor and drive with drug money.
Well, you can't say the drug money is for the community. We can't say that.
We not saying for money, but they took it from the community. They took it from the community. If they confiscated money, they should use it back into the community, give it back into the community, building stuff for us. Not,
Okay, I understand what you're
not
saying now.
getting better police cars, better equipment.
I agree. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
You know why? So it's like you just said, paying for summer camp. They
Yeah,
can use
that's
that
crazy.
money for poor families and use it for donate money.
You
to
would
them.
think a multi-millionaire would fund all these children to go to his camp.
Right.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
I don't understand it, but yeah, the mother sent me this, and she was like, "There's no way I can afford this for 2 kids."
But we
I
had
couldn't believe it.
nothing to do about. We had nothing to do. Again, this is crazy. The public not saying nothing. Again, crime in our street and drugs in our street is getting outraged because of the leadership we got in the community.
We can't all put it on leadership. Now,
It's not
it has a
It
part.
really starts at
It has.
home.
There you go. That's what I was
It
just
starts
going
at
to say.
home.
It starts
It's like
at the
us,
house.
like we do mentor, my organization, but if the parents ain't meeting us halfway, it's defeating the purpose. The kid could be all happy all day being with us or whatever. Then you
Right.
go back to
The
drop them off
environment.
at home.
And-
They're in an unbalanced atmosphere, and it's like, so we
And
got to
you
meet
know,
halfway.
Yep.
You're right, make halfway. But if she's a single parent and she got to work and she had nowhere to put her child at, you may see her start at home. She doing everything. She give them the right food, tell them how to be this, be that, even that. But when she go to work, the kid ain't got nothing to do. If they had somewhere they can take their kid while she at work, you know, like I said, a place to go, mentor program or a center to go to while she at work, about charging, a 24-hour center go where they can charge. Cause I know back then they had 24 hours charge.
Yeah.
Now they got rid of all that, and so that would help out a lot because you can't say parents do. A lot of these single parents do all they can.
Yeah, they do.
All they can. They work 3 or 4 jobs trying to do that and still trying to take care of kids. So it starts home, but then the kids gonna get relaxed. Ain't got nothing to do. Right. Watch TV, watch games. Social media is the worst.
Video game all day, which is
a
bad thing to do for kids.
Yeah. You know? So,
well, I just want to say, this summer, my nonprofit, Self-Made Beauty, what we did in our community, we host each week, once a week, we were able to host a pretty much, I say, an outlet for our kids, an event. So, I mean, it's things that kids probably would never get to experience. I'm just going to give you an example of 3 things I did. We did a cooking class. We did a planning class. I had somebody from the music industry come and talk to the kids. I did things that our children should be related to. I stepped away from sports because they get that pushed in their face so much. So I didn't want to do that. But I did that on my own dime to make sure, because these kids really didn't have it. And I told my husband, I said, how in the world we in a community and they don't have nothing for these kids to do in the summertime? I didn't understand it. And so I was like, and I don't have small kids, but I know when our children were young, we made sure our children were active. And like you said, it's a lot of single mothers raising these kids. And as far as, like, I started with just girls because I can't teach a young man how to be a man. True. Because I'm a woman and he's going to get my emotional attachment of how I would. I can't teach him how to be a man. So it's like our men really need to step up because these boys are so emotional now. And they go off of emotions versus realistic things.
But you know, other things, since we talking about drugs, all these athletes making all this money. And if you start reading, and all of them in just drugs, alcohol, you know, set the bad example. Because they all in the paper, they set the bad example for young kids.
Why do you think that the majority of athletes go to the drugs?
Because they were raised, they was either seen it from home, came from, they had nothing to do with their money. They first had to get money in their life, they ain't got nothing to do with it. So, and they never grew up how to spend their money. They probably saw it home.
That's just like John Morant. Did some research on him. He never had no rough life growing up. Now you made it to the NBA. Why are you making bad choices now? 'Cause I went to Memphis, Tennessee, and had a press conference and talked about, you know, you letting our people, you setting a bad example. Why? And then his dad is at every game, like it's in his life. You know, you need to sit your son, I know he's grown, but you need to sit your son down and say, hey, why are you making these bad decisions? So I'm blaming him as well.
Well, that's
true. It's just like at a game, you seen John Morant, his dad getting into it with Shannon Sharp like they kids at a Lakers game.
Wow.
And you seeing that all on TV, and the kids are seeing this.
We got to go on break.
Okay.
We got to take a short break. We'll be back in a minute, close out in a minute. We'll be back in a minute in a short break pause. We'll be right back.
Experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives. Today's
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, the last segment thing. I want to remind everybody again, on August the 5th, 2023, we're having a back-to-school rally for the kids, backpacks, health fair, dance, cheer, a lot of fun music out there at McDonough High School. It's 155 Postmaster Road in McDonough. I want you to bring the kids out, the family out, come out and celebrate the kids back to school. Welcome to the safety back to school. It's another year. You know, every time we go to school, something happens. So we just want to bring the community together for once and help on this event. Again, it's August the 5th, 2023 at McDonough High School. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. Come out and support the event for community. Bring your child out to every kid. We're getting with backpacks, 250 school backpacks. We're going to talk in our program broadcast. I want people to understand we're bringing the things to happen in our community on a regular basis. If there's any politicians, any officials want to come on our show, explain what they're doing for their community and helping their community out, be free to come on our show. We want to hear from you, because we don't want you to get in the office and say, I'm going to do this and do that or whatever. We want, before you get in office, what have you done before you got in office? Because this community needs a lot of help. They need a lot of help in funding. And then I want you to say one thing, ladies and public. A lot of non-profit organizations need our support. And we need to support them. We need to put our money into non-profit organizations, the people that make a profit on us, because there's so many people doing stuff. Just like Ms. Thomas said, she got a non-profit organization for women that she need fund help. It's coming out of her own pocket. They're the Pink Boots, they're GG Houses, they're New Order. Everybody, these non-profit organizations are good for the community. And that's where we should invest our money in, something that's already putting things in. They're not running for office. They're helping our kids, our youth, our community streets clean up. Stop putting your money in people that's already in office that's not going to do but make shoulda, woulda, coulda promises to you. The next time you go to them to want your vote, ask you, what have you did for me? That's what have you did for me lately. Show me your results. Tell me what have you did for the community since you've been in office. Don't just take them because they're your friend and your buddy, they hang out with you. Better be accountable for their actions. Because let me tell you, there are a lot of politicians don't want to come on stage with me because they know I know something about them. And I'm not afraid to speak on you, and I'm not afraid I stand on my name if you that good of a politician. Are you afraid to come out there because you know I might know something about you or bring something out that you don't want to be taught? I don't write scripts, but politicians, we need your support. We need you to help support these non-profit organizations. Come out and support them. You know, all money is not good money, but some money, we need your money. All right?
Can I give out some contact information?
Yeah, go ahead.
For more information about New Order, you can call us at 1-800-346-5138. You can visit our website at www.nonhro.org, or you can send us an email at n1992
Tell them what you do.
at yahoo.com.
Tell them what your organization actually does.
Actually, it's not I, it's we.
Basically,
I'm saying this is a team effort for what's called New Order. We deal with human rights issues. We can bring you legal representation. We do mentoring. Of course, we give back to the community. You know, this is a full-time job. You know, we take this very serious. You know, God has brought me some very serious people. What makes a strong leader is the people that surround him.
Amen.
With just as smart as I am, bring up ideas, because I don't have all the answers on this. You know, so that's basically where we come from.
All right. So, hey, I'm Phaedra Thomas. My nonprofit organization is Self-Made Beauty. I mentor to our youth about sex trafficking, self-awareness, and a host of other things, conflict resolution. My nonprofit is www.selfmadebeauty.org, or you can actually follow me on Instagram. It's self_madebeauty2022. And my phone number is 470-812-7108. That's how it can be reached.
I did forget to say something right quick. This is a message to our youth. I'm asking all young people to put down the pistols, pick up the pencils, because another victim dies, another mother cries. Stop the violence.
Again, we want to thank our producer Phyllis Washington for this show tonight. State Farm is one of our sponsors tonight. And again, a reminder: August the 5th, 2023, come out and support the back to school rally at McDonough High School. We need your support. As we close out, until we meet again, peace out. Thank you.
From mental health to gun violence in a system that is losing. Police brutality, immigration, black business is booming. Education, prison system, corruption keeps on brewing.